You know, at some point, political confusion is no longer political. It is metaphysical, and you're arguing about systems while standing on an unexamined idea of who you are before beliefs, before ideologies, before institution. There's a quieter question. Where does I begin and where does it end? Most political thought never asks this. It already assumes an answer and builds everything on top of a sloppy, broken framework without questioning who you are and what your purpose truly is. There's an assumption that awareness has a center, that there's a thinker, a decider, a doer, a controller. But when attention turns inward, the center is curiously absent. There is perception, there is action, there is thought, but the owner of them does not appear in the way that is expected. This isn't mysticism, this is just inspection of perception and awareness. If awareness has no fixed center, then identity is not static, but dynamic. It evolves, it changes permanently, not just biologically, structurally, and not just individually, collectively. Systems merge, selves reorganize, new levels of coordination appear. Trying to solve modern problems from older tribal identity structures creates friction that feels political, but it's actually developmental. And here's what's destabilizing about power without a self. If the self is not a closed unit, then power is never purely personal. If power is distributed, responsibility cannot be isolated. Individual action matters, but it is nested inside families, inside cultures, inside institutions, inside historical momentum. Blaming the smallest unit for outcomes produced at higher levels is not accountability, it is a categorical error. Seeing through the illusion of a fixed self does not remove you from the world, it places you more deeply within it. Withdrawal creates mistakes, and it mistakes insight for escape. Engagement mistakes ego for agency. The work is integration, acting without pretending you're separate from the whole. When identity loosens, politics changes texture, not because values disappear, but because blame, credit, and control are no longer misplaced. What collapses is not responsibility. What collapses is the fiction that responsibility was ever purely individual to begin with.